Hello, this is Ed DeLaney from Indiana House District 86. I'm a member of the Ways and Means Committee at the legislature, and I'm starting a series of podcasts about the question of data centers and their impact on our state. I will not start out by covering the broad range of issues, which ranges from environmental concerns, utility costs, zoning issues, and so forth. I'm going to focus initially on one topic, which is the impact on taxes received by the state of Indiana, or more accurately, taxes not collected from the data centers. The very first report that we have shows that we have already given up $655 million in state sales tax revenues in connection with essentially one plant in St. Joe County. The grand total was 655 all across, but 611 of that money was forgiven to Amazon. Amazon got what businesses like to call a tax incentive. I question whether they needed any incentive to build this facility, but I tend to call it a tax expenditure. That's money that could have been collected, that 611 million from Amazon could have been collected for the benefit of the state to help education, roads, and other needs of the state. Instead, we chose not to collect a cent of that, and at the same time, we charge you 7 cents for every dollar you spend on utility or every dollar you spend in a hardware store. We charge our other businesses not named Amazon 7% on the equipment that they buy for their facilities. So you can see the scale of this. So I'm hoping that you will be able to follow along with me as I focus on this and as we get towards the fall. This fall, the Indiana Finance Authority is going to have to issue a report about the impact of data centers across the board, meaning environment and everything, not just taxes. And I am working diligently to gather information to submit to them. I hope that as this series of podcasts goes forward, you will join me in communicating with the Indiana Finance Authority, and with me for that matter, as to your opinions about data centers. So let's return and finish briefly here on the tax thing. The state has passed a law that allows the IEDC, the Economic Development Corporation, to certify certain facilities as data centers. If they do that, they're giving them a total exemption from their sales tax. This exemption could last up to 50 years under certain circumstances. The volume is considerable. A large-scale data center may purchase initially as much as $5 or $6 billion worth of servers and other equipment, electronic and physical equipment. Now, I'm not talking about the buildings. They would normally be charged 7% on the sales tax for purchasing those items. So 7% of $5 billion is $350 million for one plant. This gets higher because over time, the data center will be replacing servers and other equipment, and they won't have to pay sales tax when they do that. The scale of this is enormous. To give you an example, what could we do with that kind of money? We've decided this year to cut thousands, tens of thousands of people from Medicaid in this state to quote save, end quote, $350 million. At the same time, we in effect spend $611 million of our tax money on just one facility. So I hope I've gotten your attention. I hope you can see the scope of the problem, and I hope you'll be following along as I do further podcasts on this. I suggest you watch this topic carefully in the media. I know the local newspaper, the Indianapolis Star, but especially the Indianapolis Business Journal, have been doing a good job covering this. Keep an eye on that, and keep listening to these podcasts. Thank you so much.